Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
I have both of you as echoes and myself too.
There's a feedback.
That's feedback. Wait.
Now we don't. I know. Yes.
Oh, Fabiana, do you have me that feed, that background?
Yeah.
Or maybe there was the other one that was really pretty.
I can share this one. Okay. There's still echo.
Echo.
Echo. Yes.
I'll see if I have the other one. Sorry, don't remember where.
Already sent on Slack.
Found it.
Can I ask, where is? Hello.
Yeah. We hear
Sounds
you.
good.
No, I'm hearing myself. Hello.
Hi everyone, my name is José Vieira and I work at the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Analytics in Fidelidade Group. The insurance sector is full of data science challenges, such as classical supervised classification models for customer cross-sell and churn propensity, as well as deep learning and computer vision exercises, such as intelligent document processing, car damage assessment in either pictures or video, or even topic and sentiment analysis in either text messages or phone calls. All of these projects are built by our internal teams at the center. If you'd like to know a little bit more about our projects, feel free and reach out. I wish all of you a wonderful World Data League. Best of luck.
Fidelidade, so that life doesn't stop.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Fabiana, and since it's the first time I'm showing up at this edition, I might as well introduce myself. So I'm head of communication and design, and I've been here since the first edition. And here with me is Tamara, that it's very famous by now, so everyone knows her. Tamara, do you want to say hi?
Not sure if I would call myself famous, but yeah, I've been on every live session in this edition, which was an interesting change. But yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the closing of the semifinals, finals, and launch of the finals. Super excited to show you who won and also show you the next challenge.
Yeah, today it's an exciting day, but also kind of sad because moving on since means that we are going to lose some teams in the way, lose or not, but and
Yeah,
it's
always.
I'm the nostalgic one. Sorry. Okay, so semifinals are over, as Tamara said, and that's it. And besides a great challenge that we're going to talk also a bit when we announced the winners. We also had this career advice activity that it was very nice. Well, at least that's the feedback we're getting. But feel free to comment here on YouTube if you participated and want to tell us something about it. So for this activity, we had 10 participants and they had one-on-one meetings with industry experts from Siemens and BPE, as we say in Portuguese, let's say like that, two of our partners. And Fact Club also decided to join the fest. So they are going to give each participant a ebook of their choice. But as usual, our community managers probably already told you this. They are going to be in touch with you. Are you jealous, Tamana?
A little bit of the ebook. I have like a whole list of ebooks I would love to have. And every time we give out one, I'm like, could have used that. But yeah, no, congrats. And I mean, the great thing that you take away from this, hopefully, is some great career advice. And I think it's a good example of how the World Data League is more than just a competition. And there's other things that you can take away. Even if you maybe didn't win or don't make it to the finals, there's a lot along the way. And having participated will be a plus in your career in the future, I hope.
Yeah, sure. And I do wish I had the opportunity of doing a one-on-one career advice. I never had one. I'm here if anyone wants to talk to me. No, just kidding. But yeah, please comment and tell us if you participated, what are your thoughts on this activity. And now I bet all of you are curious to know how it went for your team and what are the results of this semifinals. And today we're not going to just announce the semifinals winner, but we are also going to meet the 5 finalist teams that are going to join us for the next and last stage of this World Data League 2023. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
I bet we all are. So I don't know, is the leaderboard video ready? If yes, let's. And congratulations, Bias Bunch. Again, you did it again. And yes, it's a Britney Spears reference, so please get it. And you're killing it. But also congratulations to all the teams. That's 5 teams with over 200 points, and that's amazing. And it means a lot. And it's a lot of hard work there. And also some major twists on the leaderboard we saw from last stage to this one. AI Wonder Girls and Data Warriors, that's an escalate. You've been like climbing up fast, so watch out for these teams and CEOs slowly also finding its way to the top, and it's just moving step by step. And inside squad, let's talk about consistency, because it was, I don't know, I think I'm right. It was exactly the same place on leaderboard on the 2 stages. So congrats teams. And you also had the opportunity to see these 5, who are the 5 finalist teams. So the Bias Bunch, AI Wonder Girls, CEOs, I'll say the short name because the long is too long, and Inside Squad and Data Warriors. So congratulations to these 5 teams, but also to all the others. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, I think that's important to say, that like everyone who submitted a solution, like done extremely hard work. And even if you didn't make it to the finals, that's an accomplishment you can be really proud of. You made it to the semifinals and you submitted 2 solutions. And I know specifically that I was talking to Anna today. We emailed back and forth, and she said, like, even the ones who didn't make it to the finals and didn't win, she will be looking at all the solutions for ideas and inspiration. Once we publish them in
awesome.
July. Yeah. No, she's excited about every single solution and is looking forward to seeing them.
And also the contribution is huge. And as you know, the best solutions and the best insights are also going to be featured on the Social Impact Hub, our platform that you can also check. And it's very great, and it means a lot, the work you did to this point, and for the finalist teams also, the work you're going to do. And wow, I get too emotional with this stuff. But thank you all for your work, and also to the mentors and jury for yet another stage of hard work. And you did it. And now, as you know, there's a prize, an excellency prize, to be split with the teams that got over 225 points. And as you might have seen on the leaderboard, it seems that the bias bunch is again taking all our money home. And I feel it. I do feel the money going right now. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a lot of money.
definitely huge congrats. Yeah, it just speaks to how much they're doing, and yeah, how much work they're putting in. But I think one important thing, they won both the first phase and the semifinals now. That doesn't need to mean anything for the finals.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah, from
definitely.
experience. Not just
Yeah,
saying
and
that.
last year we had some surprises, so probably they will happen as well this year. So you don't get too confident about this. Okay, and now since the semifinals are over, it's also time to give the Social Impact Award. The goal of this award was to remind us all of why are we doing this. Social impact is in the blood of World Data League, and it's part of a big part of what we're doing. So we wanted to celebrate it somehow. So there's a 500 euros prize to the team with the highest social impact score between first phase and semifinals. So
yeah, and I think we had the slide up just a second ago
yeah,
with the team logo.
okay.
Yeah.
I
On my
wasn't
second
seeing
screen, I
the
have
slide.
what everyone sees, but with a slight delay. But yeah, the base bunch
Okay.
also took that one. So
It's
far,
yeah.
they took all the prizes, but they can't for the finals. They can't be first and second place. And as I said,
No, yeah,
we had this
and third.
situation last year, and someone else won the finals in the end. So they can't fully relax. And everyone else still has a big chance on winning a big amount of money. And of course, everyone has a chance on submitting a solution that will have a huge impact to the finals.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So congrats again. And I think maybe now we can see the bias bunch pitch video to this stage and see why are they taking our money.
I'm excited to see their pitch. Yeah, I actually haven't watched that yet on purpose. So let's watch it together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello, we are the Base Bunch, and today we are very excited to present to you Beautiful Sea, an analytical solution for the conservation of marine ecosystems. Over the past 3 weeks, we've used data science to provide actionable insights to protect the native and endangered species and preserve the biodiversity of the Avencas Marina Protected Area in Portugal.
For this challenge, we combined climate data, ocean health indices, air quality, and marine geochemical data from various sources to gain a comprehensive understanding of the historical environmental conditions and their impact on this ecosystem. Using a combination of feature engineering and time series modeling techniques, we developed 3 SARIMA models to forecast invasive species, endangered species, and our biodiversity metric, the Shannon Index. We also simulated different scenarios, such as how changes in ocean acidification would impact long-term forecasts over 10-year periods. The models allowed us to identify key variables that influence our targets and quantify their importance, as you can see on this chart. This included ocean pH levels and nitrate levels. The local biodiversity was also shown to correlate with Portugal's biodiversity as provided by the Ocean Health Index.
We developed the models into Beautiful Sea, a 2-part product that enables data-driven decision-making to enhance the conservation efforts of marine ecosystems. The first part is an interactive dashboard, which showcases our time series model results, feature importances, and simulations of changing environmental variables. The dashboard provides valuable insights to enable the management of the MPA to understand the factors that most impact biodiversity and species counts. Simulation plots also allow users to access the impact of environmental changes and take proactive measures to prevent adverse scenarios. Beautiful Sea is also a reusable Python package available on GitHub, which empowers the open source community to model different marine ecosystems. Researchers and practitioners can utilize this package to perform exploratory work and visualize the impacts of different variables in other coastal regions of interest.
By creating Beautiful Sea, we leveraged cutting-edge data science techniques and diverse environmental datasets to better understand marine conservation and preservation. Our product can shape effective remediation plans to increase biodiversity in Cascais and other coastal regions. It can be also used as an education tool to increase public and government awareness of biodiversity conservation. Choose Beautiful Sea to restore the beauty of our oceans, ensuring a vibrant and resilient marine ecosystem for future generations. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Device Bunch. You also rock on your communication skills are on point. And I guess
Yeah, and
it
Fabiana will
shows
know.
up.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
that's
know
a big
much,
compliment.
but yeah, congrats on your hard work. And we really feel that it was not like, oh, we already won the first stage, let's like chill. No, you also giving it like the extra push, and it shows. So congratulations, and thank you to all the teams. And what's next, Mara?
Yeah, and especially also thank you to the teams who didn't make it to the finals. We really appreciate all your solutions as well. And your solutions, both of the first phase and the semifinals, will, like all the solutions will be forwarded to the topic entities. And you might be contacted, or we will ask you if we can forward your contact details if they want to know more about your solution. And this can happen completely irregardless from where you placed in the competition. It's important to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, for all of the finalists, I know you're very eager to find out what the topic will be. And yeah, I think we have a short video break from our partners. And after that, we will tell you about the finals.
Let's do it.
All right. Before we tell you the topic, we want to quickly go over how the finals are structured, because most things are the same, but some things are a little different. So this is going to be the final schedule. Today, June 1st, we are kicking off the finals. This time, the Q&A is a little bit different. You remember in the first phase and the semifinals, we had this live Q&A session on video. This time, the Q&A will be asynchronous because we want you to ask your questions as early as possible and try to get back to you as early as possible. And also, the people who are most familiar with the data, there will be several people who it will be hard to get together for one session. So the best thing you do, as soon as you arrive at a question, just put it in the Discord channel or DM it to me if you don't want to have your question out public, and I will try to get an answer, and I will post all the answers to all questions in that Discord channel as I did before, so everyone is working with the same information and assumptions, and I will add some more information about that in the Discord channel later today. The deadline this time is going to be on the 22nd of June. This is GMT +1 time zone. Important to notice. So 1 p.m. in that time zone. Let's please calculate your own time zone. And as always, it makes sense to start submitting maybe an hour before, because everything goes wrong at the last minute. We all know that. And what happens then is that there will be a pitch training, because for the finals, you will have the opportunity to give a live pitch, which is 5 minutes long. And we also have the possibility to give you an extra training of that. And I will show you more about that in the next slide. On the 29th of June, we would like to have your 5-minute pitch presentation ready so that we know what you're going to present. And that will also be the day when our technical juries are ending the evaluation of the technical part of your solution. The closing, which we also have a full slide on in a second, will be on June 30th with the live pitches of all of the finalists to our grand jury. Okay, pitch training. This is really important in communications. On Monday the 22nd and Tuesday the 27th, you have the chance to do your draft presentation in front of a topic matter expert of one of our mentors. And this is a great way to know or to refine your presentation in the last few minutes before you have to give it. It's a 5-minute presentation, and then you have a 20-minute time to talk to the coach and do the discussion. There will be more information on that on the Discord, and also the links will be shared on how you can book that. And of course, the closing session, the big end of this edition of the World Data League, will be on Friday, the 30th of June, 4 p.m. Portugal time. That's 5 p.m. my time, and you can calculate what it is in your time zone. It's dangerous. Like 1 hour off is way more dangerous than having 6 hours difference in my experience when scheduling. But yeah.
Yes, it's too close. It's easy to mistake. Yeah.
I schedule across time zones every day, so something I always have to double check. And your pitch will be 5 minutes, and then there will be a Q&A, a live Q&A, 13 minutes, where our grand jury will ask you questions about your modeling, about social impact, about everything about your pitch. So this is something you really should be prepared for. In terms of the deliverables, they remain the same, except the video pitch, because yes, you will still submit the pitch as you did before for the first phase and semifinals, but this will now focus on the technical aspects, because the jury during the evaluation period will just look at the technical aspects of your solution. So it can be a walkthrough of the Jupyter Notebook. It doesn't need to be a full-on presentation. You can save that for doing the live pitch, and you will have dedicated time and the mentoring session for that. So this is maybe a little bit of a change from the previous stages. Now, the evaluation, this will be split in the following way. The product and the impact will be evaluated by the grand jury. So this will be evaluated from your live pitch. So you really have to bring your best in that moment. Your technical skills, the notebook, the executive summary will be evaluated by the technical jury the way that you used to it from the semifinals and the first phase. And yeah, the pitch will be evaluated during the live session. So this will be the live pitch, and that's the main change. And I'm repeating myself, I know that. The pitch that you submit with your notebook, with your executive summary, should really be aimed at the technical audience so they can get an overview before they jump into your notebook. Did I miss anything there? That was a lot of words.
No, I don't think so. That was a lot of words, yeah. But it's also a big slide. I think you covered all. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have any questions about that, just message us on Discord. We're always happy to go over that again, and for you to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row and everything ready. Yeah. And with that, I think we're ready to know the topic of the finals challenge. So I think we have a short video about that. right, very exciting. You know the topic. We had mobility, we had biodiversity, and now for the finals, we are jumping into an energy challenge. And specifically, we are going to go to Belgium, to the city of Ghent. And this city has actually super ambitious SDG aligned goals. And one of the areas that they're focusing on is climate mitigation and adaptation. So I've been talking to the people in Ghent for a while now, and they have a lot of different programs that they're working on to help their inhabitants to be more prepared for climate change and to help them live a more sustainable life and make their environment and especially their houses more sustainable. And the challenge topic will be energy communities, inclusive of residents vulnerable to energy poverty. You might be thinking, what's an energy community? And this will be explained in more detail in the Fireside chat. But in a nutshell, an energy community is a group of people, of citizens who together share their energy source. So if you imagine wherever you live, and if you imagine your 5 favorite neighbors, or maybe even your whole block, you would all share the same energy source, which would of course be sustainable, for example, solar panels or wind power, and you know that you share the energy and you have it in a local place. And this has been shown to be very effective to allocate and distribute renewable energy in an equitable manner. And equitable is very important here. Again, specifically said that they want to make sure that the solution is inclusive of residents who might be vulnerable to energy poverty. So that not only people who have the money to put their own solar panels on their roof, but really everyone can profit from clean energy. Your goal will be to leverage the existing data to propose how energy communities could be formed in the city of Ghent, with a special focus to residents who are vulnerable to energy poverty. Now, this data is super interesting. It's going to be a geographical data set of sun irradiation on a 3D model of the whole city. So this will be more explained in the Fireside chat, but they had a plane flying over the city and laser measured in super high detail the elevation of each roof, and then figured out which roofs could be suitable for solar power, which is just amazing as a data set at the start. I had no idea things like that existed. And your job will be to create an optimization algorithm that proposes how these energy communities could be formed. What's important to consider is it should also include potential and existing sites for renewable energy production. There will be a lot of data sets about the existing energy production in the area. You should also consider energy consumption. So if there's a place that consumes a lot of energy, for example, programmers who have several servers running, just kidding, but there are sometimes places where you need a lot of energy. So you should take that into account, and we have energy consumption data. It should be inclusive of residents who could be vulnerable to energy poverty. And ideally, this would be scalable. When I was talking to the City of Ghent, to the person responsible currently for the project, she said that they hope to have another flight like this very soon. So one thing to keep in mind is to make sure your solution can be adapted if there's more and new data. And ideally, if there would be another city where such a project could be made, that you could simply adapt it for another city. And also, you can theoretically put the whole city in an energy community, but that wouldn't really be interesting. And Ghent is especially interested to have geographical proximity between members. So yeah, that's the basics of the challenge.
Wow, and you deserve an award for like the passion you talk about in challenge, Tamara. Now I'm a bit concerned because maybe we will have to restrain you from participating as well. I might see like a new team coming up.
It's sometimes the case because I see the data of the months before this data I actually have seen months before we formed the challenge, and it's tempting. But I also often don't have the time, and I don't have the full skill set. Like, we have participants who have a lot more experience as data scientists than me. And especially here, I know the participants are already thinking, clustering algorithms. That's not an area I have much expertise in. I'm very glad I don't have to score any submissions on that, but I'm actually learning from the solutions a lot. Like I look through the solutions and sometimes I see models I didn't know existed. So yeah,
That's
but
amazing.
yeah, I'm very passionate about climate change and climate adaptation and mitigation. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
excited
this
for
is
this challenge.
an awesome challenge to end this edition. Very, very in the agenda and very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As usual, we have some tips for you. We are repeating those sometimes. The first one is don't forget you have mentors, make use of them. It makes sense to contact your mentor right after the phase starts, so this evening or tomorrow, and schedule your first session early. It's not mandatory this time, like in the first phase, but it makes sense to schedule it in the first 5 days to really have mentor input from the start. So you can go over the feedback you got from the previous phase and also go through the challenge brief and the data and figure out a plan of attack for this challenge. And you can also then schedule a second session around mid-competition, and then you can access your solutions development. Remember, this is not graded in any way. Like the mentors will not evaluate you. They're really only there to help you in your journey. And it makes sense to share your notebook with the mentor before the meeting, so the mentor can be prepared and already know a little bit what you're working on and can help you better. And it's completely okay if that's not complete at this point in time. Yeah, the second one, I think we had all of these on the last slide too, but make sure you submit on time. There's always some little accident in the last few minutes. Make sure everything is in the right file format. The notebook should be a Jupyter notebook. The pitch should be an MP4. As I said earlier, this pitch should focus on the technical aspects because the people watching it will be the technical jury, and they're watching it to have an overview over your solution before they dive into your notebook and executive summary. And all of the social impact and the great presentation can be saved for the live session at the end. Make sure your notebook is not too large, so it doesn't overload our platform. If that happens and you really can't scale it down, contact us early so we can figure out a solution with you. Run all the cells with outputs you want the jury to see. The jury will not run your notebook. It should be runnable. We sometimes do spot checks on that, but the jury will not run the notebook. So if you have a plot or a table you want the jury to see, you should have that cell run. Conversely, if you have just a huge printout you don't want the jury to see, you can delete that output. And add a lot of context. We can't stress this enough. For the jury jumping in, not having that much time, not having that much background, it helps a lot if they can read the markdown text and the comments in your code to know what you did. Because sometimes there are great solutions, but there are some comments missing, and that will cost you points unnecessarily. Yeah, and double check your submission once it's uploaded, so you know everything, the right file got uploaded and everything looks the way you want it to. Yeah. Yep. Did I forget anything? I think that's everything.
No. I think it's everything. And I see already one person excited on the YouTube chat about this challenge. So we can't wait.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we really can't wait. And we're also super excited to see you work on this challenge. And now the Fireside chat this time will not be live because Carmen from the City of Ghent couldn't make this time. But we had a great chat just yesterday morning, and I'm very excited for you to see that. And she gave some very important points that I think will help you attack this challenge. So let's dive in. Let's watch the Fireside chat together.
Let's see.
Hi, Carmen. Thank you so much for joining me for doing this. We're pre-recording this video just one day ahead of the launch. So we're both ready and super excited to see the challenge to be launched. For the participants watching this on the stream, maybe you can start with introducing yourself and the work that you do at the City of Ghent.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Carmen. I work for the City of Ghent in the Service of Climate and Environment, and I'm part of a team that is working on participation, education, and behavioral change. And we work together in tight collaboration with experts on climate and environment. My field of expertise is applying impact strategies to convince house owners to make renovations, and especially on energy. I'm part of what is called the Energiecentrale. It's a it's Ghent's one-stop shop for advice and energy efficient housing advice. And since the creation in 2014, our services gradually expanded. We have every year 1,000 people in Ghent that receive a housing advice, and also more than 400 people that are having a coach that helps them during the renovations. And last year, due to the crisis, we experienced a tidal wave. So we had more than 4,000 Ghentians that asked our advice. And we also have a service for people with a lower income, that the energy coach can come and scan their house and give personal tips, personalized tips on how to lower their energy consumption. So that's in sum what I do every day.
Oh, that's fascinating. Like, I imagine you're basically the person to go to for the whole city for advice, like how do I lower my energy bill? And kind of hitting two birds with one stone in that, like lowering energy consumption and helping people save money, and especially people who maybe don't have that much money to spend on energy. So
Yeah,
no, that's
it's
really
a
great.
combination. But we are a big team, so we have everybody has his expertise. So I'm more the one that has to put the Ghentians to know that we exist. So I'm the one that is the publicity girl from the Energiecentrale.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point for the next question. I imagine you need a lot of arguments and ways to talk about and ways to present your initiatives. And this challenge, as I said in the challenge presentation just a moment ago, is all about energy communities. And maybe you can give our participants an overview. What is an energy community and why do you want to have them in Ghent?
Okay, so an energy community is based on an open and voluntary participation of its members, and the main purpose is to provide benefits in the environmental or economic or social field, or in the environment in which it operates, and it has a non-profit motive, so that's important, or a profit motive that is subordinate to its main purpose. What else also is important is that the activities of the community are related to energy from renewable energy sources. So the renewable aspect is also very important. And the members of the community are connected to each other through an electricity network or a heat or cold network. And they have control over the activities of that renewable energy community. And then in the form, it can take several forms. It can be a legal entity, it can be an association, a corporation, a partnership, a non-profit organization, or a small, medium-sized enterprise. So it for us, it don't has to be this or that. It can be everything. And we hope to create it because we think that in Ghent, we hope to create it with the geographical and technical proximity, because we think that when people see the power plant, they will have also the incentive to participate. And we think that it can be a mean to restructure our energy system and to contribute to the decarbonization of our system and to make it more flexible. So that's our main objectives.
Yeah, that sounds quite awesome. But while you were describing it, I was imagining, like, in the place where I live, what would it be like if I knew, hey, those solar panels on this big roof close to me, that's where my energy comes from, and having a community form around that and knowing, hey, if we together save more energy, we can maybe put that back into the grid and all of us also save money, but also, of course, have a climate impact like that.
And we also believe that it can help you to change your ideas when to put on your washing machine. For example, if you see the sun is shining and it's shining on the panels for the moment, this is the time that I should put on my washing machine. So the panels can also help to remind you that instead of in the past when it was better to do your laundry during the night, now it's more economically a better choice to do it during the time that the sun is shining. So, voilà.
Yeah, it's definitely empowering if you know where your energy comes from, and you also know you are partially independent from maybe if something happens to the larger grid, or of course in Europe, not all. Hello to the dog.
Yeah, I warned you that he could say hello, so he's
all fine.
there.
Pets are very welcome. Yes, but like if you were like we have participants who are not in Europe, but in Europe it's something that we have on our minds. What if there is an energy shortage during the winter, or what if there's a gas shortage? So knowing, hey, I'm part of this community, this is where the main part of my energy comes from, I think would go quite a way, especially for people who are more on the poverty side. No, it's a great initiative. And talking about, you said the energy should be coming from renewables. And this challenge puts a special focus on solar energy. And I know our participants will be eager to dive into that data set. It's a really cool data set. I had my usual preview. Do you want to talk a little bit more about this 3D model data set that you made of your whole city?
Yeah, so it's based on a data in 2013. There were flights, several flights that were made on top of our city, and the model, the data are based on that data. It's called the digital elevation model of Flanders, and it's used as a basis for the calculation. And in essence, it's a point cloud of 16 points per square meter, and they combined it with the height information. And so it was a laser that did it during several flights. And then based on this map, we performed a calculation of the solar potential of the roofs. And in the next phase, then we determined what would be suitable roof surfaces to place panels. But I have to say already, the data are from 2013, so recent changes to some buildings are not always mapped. So it's always good to check Google Maps to see maybe something has changed or something. So, and then additionally, we also added the potential green roofs as an energy saving measures for businesses, because we also believe that those two things, the green roofs and the solar panels, can enforce each other.
Yeah, it was something the first time you presented the challenge to me way back in January or even December, I think. And I heard about that this data set exists. I didn't know this was possible to have such a detailed elevation measure and create a point cloud, basically rain a point cloud over a city in the data sense. So this is really interesting. And then you went a step further and actually thought about, well, if there's a huge tree in the way of this roof would not be that suitable. So,
or for our city, if there is a heritage or an old building that has a historical value, it is also a potential difficulty to put solar panels due to other measurements. So that's also something that we took in account, and we are dreaming of new flights 10 years later to have more new information, because things change. But it was another organization that did the flight, so we are waiting for them to do it again, because it's a difficult enterprise to do.
Yeah, it's really good to know, because that's the first important point for our participants too, to create their solution in a way that new data could easily be brought in and substituted. Yeah. There's another aspect to the challenge brief and proposal that I wanted to shine a bit of light on. You talk about that you want to especially be mindful of people who are vulnerable to energy poverty. Maybe you can elaborate on how you define that and why that's important.
Yeah, so as I told when I was introducing myself last year, due to the energy crisis, yeah, we saw that more and more Ghentians had more difficulties to pay their electricity bills, and they went to social welfare for help. They came to us to have help, and many of them faces today payment delays. And to get out of that financial situation, it is not always easy, and it gives some insecurity. So we understand that for those people, it's not a priority to invest in renewable energy. But we find it important to also to have a just transition, and that they can also participate in those energy communities. So that's why we want to create a policy that encourage those energy communities in which they can take place.
Yeah, you're trying to make sure that it's not just the people who already have the money to put their own solar panels on their own roof that profit, but really everyone who lives in the area.
Yeah, and also we have like maybe in comparing to other cities, we have 70% that are house owners, but we have a little group that is renting. And we have in Belgium, as I also said in the preparation, a little bit a stone in our stomach. We say it's an expression to say that everybody has his own house and his own tree and his own roof and his own solar panels. That's our traditional way of thinking, but we believe that if we want to have a more flexible and if we want to take everybody in the transition, it's important to have things as energy communities where everybody can participate from within their own background. So that's why we want to do this.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of the parts of this challenge to even figure out where do the people live who might be vulnerable to energy poverty. I know that we provide some income data and some data on housing prices, but that's one of the challenges to figure out how you could work that into the model.
Yeah, but it's a dense city, so I think you can think that they are. I will not give too much information, but I think we have a quite dense city, so and a mixed city. So I think in a lot of neighborhoods you could find people that can participate in those projects.
Yeah, no, I think it's really great that you also include the social aspect from the very start. And I think that's really important in climate initiatives in general. Now, if you imagine our participants are working on this challenge for 3 weeks and come up with a solution, what are your like dream wishes about this solution? Like how could the solution help your work ideally?
Yeah, with the help of an algorithm and data sets, we want to identify potential energy communities in the city, and we hope to have some scenarios how we can, as a city service, support those communities and make a choice for real social climate policy, including those residents who are vulnerable to energy poverty. And it could also help us when we are setting up a new climate plan for the next 4 or 5 years to make a decision which path we can take to change our energy system.
Yeah, so I imagine your whole team is sitting around the table and planning where put the funding and how to make Ghent as climate change aware and adaptive as possible. And if there is a model already that would that you could, a dynamic model that you could maybe change parameters, and then you have a map of what the energy communities would look like, that would go a long way to help you, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I know the participants are taking notes on that. And I think one other important aspect is always to think about who will look at this, who will look at the model, or who will look at the end product in general in how you present it. So maybe you can shed some light on who will use what the participants produce.
Yeah, so as I told also in the beginning, we work in tight collaboration with our experts on climate and environment, so they will use it in a further decision-making process. as case I can say, we also could use it to convince people to take a lead in the creation of energy communities, because we have already done some tests and we experienced that it's not always easy to find volunteers for the government and the management tasks within for cooperatives, for example. So if we have like the data or the potential that an energy community could have in this kind of neighborhood, it could also help us to convince the people that are living there to participate. So that are things that we can do, and maybe a lot of other things that I don't come up with yet, and that the participants maybe come up with. So we are also always interested to have their point of view on that topic too.
Yeah, it's kind of, you have kind of almost two different people who would view it. The domain experts who already know a lot about energy, climate change, who use it as a planning tool to approach maybe house owners and say, hey, this would be an ideal place for an energy community. But on the other side, if you talk to people as the public face of the initiative, you can also say to them, hey, there's this tool, and maybe you want to check out if you and your 5 favorite neighbors would form an energy community. This is what it would arrive at.
Yeah, and we also we already have something that's looking like that. It's called Check Your House, which means check your house. So the participants can always go to www.checkyourhouse.be, and there you can already with some parameters we use the data for that too. So you can also give in parameters, and then we will look when your roof or your is fitted for a solar panel. So maybe then we can add an extra field from your roof is fitted for solar panels, and you can create an energy community with your neighbors. So that would be that's a big dream that we have.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I will ask you for the link to that.
Yeah, I will give it.
Share that with the participants.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, they will have to do. They will have to put on an existing street name of Ghent, but they can, if they are interested, they can look up for a street name in Ghent, and then they can do the fictive. Yeah, it's an open website, so everybody, even in at the other side of the world, can be a house owner in Ghent for some minutes.
I'll try that out later.
Okay.
No. All right. I asked a lot of questions. Is there anything else you would like to share with the participants, or something I forgot to ask about?
Yeah, I just want to wish them good luck with the case, and I hope that we have a good example, and that maybe we then can go just another step closer to a just transition. So good luck to all of you.
Yeah, thank you. And from me too, to all participants, the countdown will be going down that we will add after this interview. And yeah, good luck in this challenge, and I'll see you on Discord, where you can ask me all the questions.
Bye.
Bye.
Also from the dog. Bye.
Bye.